Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Hey, in this particular video, we're going to be going over some stereo in-ear monitoring. And we're going to be talking about using the panning option. Okay? Now, this is totally independent for your front of house. You could be running mono with no panning whatsoever. You could have a totally different type of panning situation for your front of house. And we're going to be talking about the inner monitors, like I said, which are totally independent of each other. And this is where we're going to start. Now, the first thing I've done is just created a set of buses here, and I've linked those together. This is done right up here on this channel link. Okay, and it's going to ask you if you want a link. You're going to say yes. So here we have the left and right channels. Now, these are our outputs. Left and right, which is going to be 1 and 2. For myself, this would be on the X32 rack. Okay. So when we do this, now we can come over here, if you notice on the right here. Okay. When I click this, this is going to put me on Sends on Fader. And this is everything that I've added in. We're going to turn some of these off here in a second. Okay, because we don't really want those in the mix. And I've got them in here right now so you can actually hear this, what we're going to be working with. Okay, so this is what it sounds like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. And guys, there's a couple different ways we can do this now. Okay, if we come up here to Sends, this is going to be the same thing. Now, I'm going to click the kick channel. Okay, so do I want this in there? I'm going to say yes, I can just leave it like it is. If I turn this off here, notice down here, these buttons do the same thing. That's what these do. Okay, so I want to leave that in there. I'm going to take this one out. And I'm going to take, I'll leave the bass in there. I don't want the overheads in there or the snare. We can leave the acoustic in there. I'm going to turn the right channel off. We want the electric guitar, the steel guitar, and we'll keep the vocals in there. Okay, so now when I unmute this, we should be able to, when it's coming through this channel, this is all we're going to hear because it's coming from the bus. Camtasia is being fed by X32 rack. So this is what's coming out of the edit. So as you can see, we got the signal here. I'm going to unmute it. Now guys, you'll see me from time to time come up here and solo out this bus. And that's so I can actually hear what's going on within my headsets. But you're going to be able to hear this in real time. Okay? And we're going to bring up one of those channels at a time, and we're going to start with the vocals. For something nearer in my heart could not be nearer, and I surely can't control my thoughts of you. Now, as you can hear, this vocal's coming through dead center, and that's what it is. It's panned dead center, okay? I'm going to move that vocal on the left-hand side. This is it, my darling, I'd rather not to be, and you know, I'd gladly trade my days just to hold you close once more. Okay, now as you can see, it's coming out of the left channel. Now, if I click right here on this button, it's going to put that right back dead center again. I long for something better, 'cause I can't endure this weather, and I surely can't control my thoughts of you. Okay, so that's very important that we do that. So now I'm going to unmute the bass. And guys, I'm going to continue this process, okay? You can see what I'm doing. Make sure this button right here is off. Make sure this button right here is on, okay? And we're going to go through here now, and I'm going to add in what I want to add in. The steel guitar, I like it coming in through the center. And so if we come up here now, and I'm going to unmute these.
Control my thoughts of you. If this is it, my darling, I'd rather not to be. And you know, I'd gladly trade my days just to hold you.
Okay, now this is very important, guys. If we're going to sit here and work with our sends, okay, remember, as we're doing this, if we click on these channels and we send them to this bus, okay, and if we want RFX in there, we need to come down to RFX as well. Okay, if we sit here on FX number 2, as you can see, I've got it panned to the left because I had the vocals going to the left, and it had some of this on there as well as some of the FX4. Okay, people will say, well, listen, I get this FX sound all the time, even though I've only got it assigned to the vocals. It's coming through my entire in-ear monitor. Well, that's why. Because if you pan that dead center, it's going to come through. That's why these are in stereo. If you'll see, we've got the left and the right. Okay? So if we come up here to the vocals, and there we go. And as you can see, I've got the FX here on bus 14 and bus 16. Since I've got that vocal panned to the left, that's where I want to put those right there. Okay, so if I come back down here and I go to FX2 on the left right there, I've got it panned left. As you can see on the right, it's panned right. I'm going to put this right back over at 0. This is what I've found. There might be a different way or a better way of doing it. This is just what has worked for me. And there we go with that. Okay, or make this to the left, I should say, not pan at 0. And push that to the left as well. Okay, so that's what's coming in right here now to this bus mix.
In all my listening days, I long for something better, 'cause I can't endure this weather, and I surely can't control my thoughts of you. Oh, I yearn for.
Now, guys, I want to show you something else here too. People say, okay, Dane, I understand that. Now I want to run this out of my auxiliary outputs. Well, that's a simple process, okay? Let me bring these meters up again. As you can see, we don't have anything coming out of our aux sends, okay? So I'm going to come up here under routing now, and I'm simply going to take, if I want to use 1 and 2, I'm going to come over to mix bus 1 and mix bus 2. As you can see, this signal is going to be coming out of the auxiliary outputs 1 and 2. These are your 1/4 inch outputs. Now this is actually splitting it inside of the X32. It doesn't mean that it's turned it off from the XLR outputs 1 and 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our meters again. And there we go right here. Okay, now this question comes up a lot. My online stream, our pastor, our preacher, if you're at a gig, our singer, he's only coming out of the left channel. Okay, well, if you have your stream set up and you're picking up this panning, and you're coming out of your front of house with panning, if you notice up here, we don't have any panning whatsoever going on up here. But if I was to take this lead vocal and I was to pan it all the way to the left, now out of the front of house, that's only going to come out of the left-hand channel. Okay? Well, it's going to be the same for your stream. So you want to make real sure that you have, you're preaching, really however you want to set it up, guys. But if you keep it panned dead center, then you'll be able to hear it out of the left and right channel. Why is this important? Well, you have a lot of occupations. They'll allow you to listen to streaming audio, but you have to have one earbud out. Okay, you can't just go in there and totally isolate yourself. So because of OSHA working requirements, somebody flips an earbud out, they can still listen to what's going on. But if you have a bunch of this panned to the left-hand side coming out of your stream, and they take that left earbud out, regardless for whatever reason, then all they're going to hear is the right channel. And I don't think I have to explain that. They're not going to listen very long. Okay? So, again, if we come up here, if we go to Sins on Fader here, and we go to Sins here, if we just pick the kick drum right here, watch these, you'll see it's the same thing. Okay? Moving this fader is going to move these faders. Moving these faders is going to move that fader. Okay? Quickest way to do it, click on the right, add what you want in there, let it eat. All right?
I've adored more than you in all my blessed days.
Take care, God bless, and we are out of here.